It's Halloween once again, one of my favorite holidays. What kid doesn't like free chocolate that rots their teeth and makes them a little bit chunkier? Well, kids in my block are getting something a little bit sweeter. This year I'm giving out Nintendo trading card treats from the National Save Kids campaign. Should I review a game for Halloween this year? Sure, why not? No gimmicks, nothing hokey, no demented NES or anything like that. Just a simple, plain, straightforward review of a totally random game. How does that still scare me? Wow, it's Monster in My Pocket, based upon the mini toys and comic book of the same name. The NES game even came packed with an exclusive minifigure, available in one of 4 colors. To tell you more about the toys, here's my pal Pixel Dan.
Hey, thanks, Pat. So Monster in My Pocket is a media franchise that consists of comic books and trading cards, but is most well known for its line of minifigures. This line of minifigures was released by Matchbox in 1989 and gave us these cool little rubbery type figures of various legendary monsters, science fiction creatures, and even various creatures from mythology. There were 200 different minifigures released. And what's really cool about these guys is that a point system was assigned to every single figure. You see, if you turn the figures around to the backside, you'll find a tiny
Okay, Dan, that's good. That's fine.
Wait, seriously? Pat, I didn't even get a chance to tell you about how they eventually became monster wrestlers in my pocket or dinosaurs in my pocket.
Nah, we're good. Maybe if I was Pat, the forgotten 90s toy guy, I'd love to hear more.
Pat, you slimy piece of...
I love you too, buddy. Let's get on with the review. Developed and published in 1992 by Konami, Monster in My Pocket is an action platformer for 1 or 2 simultaneous players. Monster in My Pocket? More like monsters out of my pocket. Yes. It's Taco Tuesday, run! The setup is told while the vampire and monster rot their undead brains watching a Konami TV. I guess that's at least a little bit better than a Silent Hill pachinko machine. What happened to you, Konami? Shout out to Warlock's NES Punk 1.0 haircut. It's a good thing no one comments on my hair anymore. The story as such has the diminutive vampire and the monster teaming up to take down the Warlock and his pocket-sized fiends. You begin with the selection of either the vampire or the monster from Frankenstein. Unfortunately, aside from how they look, both characters function precisely the same. Both have a punch with a little sonic wave attached, or magic! As well as a double jump to move around. A giant key and a bolt can be found and picked up to toss into enemies. Yeah, earn those games. However, they don't even appear in a few of the stages, and it would be nice if there were a few more different types of items to interact with. So the playable characters are the same, but take solace that you can choose your preferred fashion sense. Either the vampire's fabulous cape, or the monster and his varsity jacket? He looks more like a high school jock than the traditional Frankenstein monster you see on the selection screen. How lazy, it's like they didn't even try. What? It's the best I can do. YouTube ad revenue isn't what it used to be. As you might expect, the 6 stages are oversized environments like a living room, kitchen, and an Oriental palace. Dude, Oriental is not the preferred nomenclature. Warlock's freaky friends, that's actually how the manual names them, are stage-specific monsters and creatures from mythology and folklore, like ogres, ghosts, zombies, skeletons, and more. Some of the monsters are more creative and stranger than others. One of my favorites has to be the one with the sugar cube head who tosses it at you. Just about all of the 40 or so featured enemies in the game are in fact Monster in My Pocket minifigures. So score 1 for brand faithfulness. I got an idea. Since it's Halloween, I should rate aspects of the game based on candy. It's Pat's Candy Rating! I like Skittles. Gameplay is smooth with that expected polished Konami control. Even if the attack has a limited range, the double jump allows for some nice movement in the stages and to get out of sticky situations. In fact, when you play Monster in My Pocket, you are somewhat reminded in ways of a game like Castlevania, where you have to deftly dodge and counterattack enemies based on their patterns. It's Pat's Candy Rating! I don't like Charleston shoes. Gameplay and controls, smooth and clean, like a Three Musketeers bar. The monsters you take on provide a fair challenge, even though many just run straight at you. However, some give you a bit more trouble, like the flying ones that shoot frickin' laser beams. Run away! But these troll-looking dorks with their sliding shin kick of doom aren't that tough. I wonder if Dan owns that figure. Hey Dan, do you have that one?
My name is Pat. I'm a big-time video game collector. I own an NWC cart and so many video games. Durr! That's it, Pat. Your ego is out of control. It's time to teach you a lesson. Oh no! Dan, don't hurt me or my video games. Oh, hey, Pat. Hey, how long were you watching?
A little longer than I wanted to. Each of the 3 lives for the player consists of 5 hit points, with heart pickups available every now and then in the stages. You have the ability to earn more lives via points on top of 3 available continues. It's a difficult game in places, but overall you should be able to handle most of the action after some practice. The boss fights are interesting, but once you recognize the patterns, they aren't that bad, even when you have to refight all the previous 5 bosses in a row at the end of the game. Spoilers! Graphics are nice with detailed characters and smooth animations. However, there's a good amount of sprite flicker that occurs when there are several enemies on the screen at once. But that's a necessary programming trick to prevent NES slowdown. Nah, you get used to it. It's past hindering! Pop rocks can kill you. Graphics. They're impressive but could be better. I'll rate this a York Peppermint Patty. Monster in My Pocket is a solid entry in the NES library, if slightly disappointing. While the gameplay is solid, the presentation nice, and the music lively, the experience itself is fairly short. And while there is some nice environmental fun here and there with the oversized background elements, the lack of power-ups and additional items makes the game feel more simple than it should, especially for a later NES release. If you're a die-hard Monster in My Pocket fan, you should be pleased. But most will probably wish for something with a little bit more bite. It's past hindering! Who likes Twizzlers? Overall, Monster in My Pocket is good, but lacking qualities to truly stand out like others. So it's a Milky Way, but not quite a Snickers. Who'd eat a Milky Way when Snickers exists? What? Only communists don't like peanuts. No one really has a peanut allergy, that's not a thing, is it? Well, that's it for this review, and special thanks to my pal Pixel Dan for helping out.
It was pretty great being here today, and if anybody out there enjoys retro toys like me, they should totally check out my channel for all kinds of cool retro toy videos. And you know what? I even played the Monster in My Pocket video game with a little bit of information about the toy line.
1 second, Dan, I gotta take this. Hello? Haven't heard from you in a while, what's up? Yeah, I can come over and play a game. How about Karate Champ? No, that's not gonna be a shitload of...
How long were you watching? Alright.
It's like they didn't even try. What? YouTube ad revenue isn't what it used to be.